also, as I touched on this morning, is a very fertile realm for Mara. That part of you that just doesn't want to, that wants to keep you trapped in the self personality, that looks for anything, any distraction whatsoever. Anything will do to take you away from just being with yourself. And this sleep thing is one of its favourite realms, because we all sleep anyway. It's a natural thing, and we all need sleep, but it exploits that natural function that we all engage with, exploits it, and then keeps us away from just being alive. But my point is, you have to own the situation. You own it. You take responsibility for it. Now that's just an example. In many ways, that's quite a neutral thing, because we're actually we're having a relationship with the environment and the weather and the temperature and stuff. So that sort of thing doesn't really threaten us. But of course, that's only part of our experience of life. We must take that ownership, to own the situation, to own the experience, into everything that we do, everything that we think, say, and do. And that's what we don't do. What we do is we project. We have a situation, for example, there's just in your daily life that with somebody comes and says something to you. Maybe you don't like what they say. Maybe it's something really not very nice what they say. How do you deal with that experience? What's your initial reaction to that? Do you actually become very aware of yourself and see that I'm at a crossroads here? I can go all sorts of ways here with this situation. Or do you, and that's owning the situation, where you own the experience and then you take responsibility for your actions. So do I go down an old familiar habitual, possibly an old habitual way of reacting, that I hit out verbally, I defend myself verbally, shoot out, or maybe I recoil and run away because that's too difficult to take. We've got our habits. It depends what it is, but we've got our way. We have a habitual way of reacting to that situation. But that's being the victim of it. That's being the victim of your habits, of your self-view. And you're looking after yourself, whether you feel a need to hit out to look after yourself, or whether you feel a need to recoil and run away and look after yourself. It's always about number one. It's always about looking after number one. But that creates all sorts of, it just snowballs and goes from one thing to the other, as we all know, with our experiences of life. Or do we instead own this? Do we own that moment? When somebody is dumping something on you, that you take that and you make a decision what you do with that. Yes, I'm owning this. This actually has got nothing to do with that person. You say, oh, you're doing this to me. You're the one who's making me like this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be like this. We're all familiar with these things, to one degree or another. Or do you open up, and this is where awareness comes, and you have the presence of being aware, of being present with the situation and alive to it, where you have this thing that's dumped on you, and you accept it and say, well, this is now, I now own something. This is my possession. This possession I now have has nothing to do with that person. So therefore I cannot give it them back. I cannot negate myself. I cannot somehow just make the excuse that nothing to do with me, Gov. Do you actually own it? Do you then own that experience and then own the reaction that you have to it, whatever it may be? Do you see yourself as the owner of that whole event? Or do you see yourself projecting and throwing it out and defending yourself, creating a world? Because for us, I would suggest that most of us throw it out. That's what we do. We find however we react to these things, to do with our habits, the way we've learned to look after ourselves. It's very, very complicated, mixed up with all sorts of obvious things and deeper things, etc., etc. But it's always a dualistic experience. There's always me and the thing out there, and that's what creates the karma, and that's what makes the world go round. And as one thing runs to another, and on we go, and it's just this endless snowball that goes on that we just are the victim of. We're not the master in any way. And I don't mean master in the sense of being willfulness, but the master of learning to not go where you've been before, probably. Not to go down that reactive, habitual way that you've gone before, but to actually own the experience, become the owner. When you own something, you can do something with it. If you don't own it, you can't do anything with it. But what you can be is to be the victim of it. That thing can own you, but you can't own it. It's when you decide, I am the owner of this experience, that you can then begin to embark upon a journey of change, of transformation, of breaking habits, of breaking what are your habits, breaking your, hopefully as you wake up to yourself more and more, to see how you are creating your own dukkha, actually. The dukkha that you're experiencing there, when somebody throws something at you that you don't like, you are creating your reaction, the dukkha that you create through your reaction, you are the creator of the dukkha. We blame, you're the one who's making me unhappy. You're the one who's doing these things to me. It's your fault. No, that's not true. That's a part of the world that we've trapped ourselves in, this dualistic world of self and other. And with the victim, and the victim means that there's no end to it. When you have a victim, you become a plaything of forces. You're a plaything that do anything with you, that throw anything at you. There he goes again. And then you create, through your reaction, you create the karma that will bring you back to those situations, that will create something that will come back and consume you again. And see that you are the creator of your own suffering. It has nothing to do with that person out there. And to see that is a massive leap. And that takes a long time to see that.